All right, we're doing section 8.2, which is the equations and graphs of circles. All right. So today we're going to be given a graph and it's given a circle and its equation in center radius form. We're going to be graphing the equation. So here we go. From here, we're going to take out the center and the radius. So we have to think back of how this is written. We learned on day 1 how this is written in center radius form. Whenever we pull it out of the equation, remember we're flipping the center numbers. And then for the r, for the radius, we have to square root it. So for today, we have to take out this number and then this number next to the y. So if I want to pull out the center, I'm going to write it over here. When I pull out the center, we're going to flip that -2 so that it's +2. And then the number that we're going to use for y is going to be 0. And then I'm going to go ahead and plot 2, 0 on this graph. So here, right here is my center. I'm going to label it with a C for the center. Now what we're going to have to do is figure out the radius. So to find the radius, I'm going to square root that last number so that my radius equals 6. If the radius is 6, my diameter would be 12. Wow. All right, so what you're going to do in order to find, to draw this circle, we're going to go up 6, down 6, left 6, and right 6. Here you go. We're going to count from the center up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 1 point. That's the highest point of this circle. Then I'm going to go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I'm going to go to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the last thing that we have to draw is the actual circle.
Yeah. Boo. You want to
Oh, my perfect circle.
Yeah, that's good. Look at mine. Mine's perfect circle.
All right, next one. So for number 2, what we're going to do is pick out the center first. So we have x plus 3 squared plus y plus 4 squared equals 100 over 16. So I'm going to figure out what the center is first by flipping the numbers inside of the parentheses. So this is really going to be -3, -4. And we're going to go ahead and plot that, -3, -4 right here. And then to figure out your radius, what we're going to do is square root 100 over 16. So this is really 10 over 4. Now that's kind of challenging to plot. So we're going to go ahead and plug that into our calculator. We're going to get the decimal version. Get me that decimal version. It should be 2.5, right? I think it's 2.5. So we're going to be plotting 2.5. So now I'm going to go up 2.5, right 2.5, down 2.5, and then left 2.5. 1, 2.5 up. Oh, here's my center. 1, 2.5 right. 1, 2.5 down. And 1, 2.5 left. And then this is the circle that we get to draw. My perfect circle. Next one. You got it? Next one. Number 3. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out the center. So my center, flip the sign, is going to be at 4, -1. And then the radius, we're going to square root the 25. So it's 5. So we're going to plot +4 down 1. So here's my center. And then you're going to go up 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the right 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we have to go left 5. And then we draw our circle. And here should be your number 4. Here we go, number 5. So number 5 is a little bit weird, right? It could be a little bit tricky if you're not paying attention. What number am I going to put for x? Show me on your fingers. What number am I going to put for x? 0. So we've got 0, comma, -3. So we're going to go to 0, and then we've got y is -3, so I'm going to go down 3. Here's my center, and then my radius equals the number 2. Yes, you could plot 4, but your radius is in fact the number 2. So then you can go up 2, right 2, down 2, left 2, and then we can graph. Once you're done with number 5, go ahead and try out number 6. Number 6, you should have a pretty small circle because the radius happens to be the number 1. And that's the lesson. Here we go. We've got to now write the equation of a circle from a graph. Last part. So in here, what we've got to do is figure out the center and the radius. What I suggest to do is to kind of figure out where the highest point is and draw kind of like a T in this picture, right? Draw a T in your in the center of the circle, all right, from top to bottom, from right to left, so that you could figure out where the center is, all right? We have a center at 4, 5, perfect. And then we've got to figure out what the radius is. So we're going to count up, count left, count down, count right. They should all be the same number of 2. And from here, we've got to write the equation of the circle. So when we do this, we've got x something squared plus y something squared equals r squared. So remember, it's always minus the number next to it. So we've got -4, -5, and then we have 2 squared, except for I'm going to change 2 squared into the number 4. So I'm going to erase what I have and write down the number 4. So this is writing the equation of the circle from a graph. So you're just picking out the center, figuring out the radius, and then writing the equation of the circle. Next one, number 4. We're going to use this graph to figure out the center, the radius, and the equation of a circle. So I'm going to kind of draw like a T so that I can figure out my center. So my center is at 2, -1. The radius happens to be the number 3. 1, 2, 3 up, 1, 2, 3 right, 1, 2, 3 down, 1, 2, 3 left. And now we've got to write the equation of a circle. So we've got x some number squared plus, we've got y some number squared equals r squared. So when you put them in, you also flip it, right? So we've got really -2. The number that's going to go next to y is +1. And then we've got 3 squared. Now I'm going to go ahead and erase the 3 squared so that it's really 9. We're going to try out number 5 on our own. Go ahead and check your answer to number 5. And then move on to number 6. All of section 8.2 practice set is homework. And this is the last problem of class. Number 6 was a pretty big one. You also had to pick out that since y was 0, it's just going to be y squared when you write out the equation of a circle. The radius was large. It was 8. Square it, and you get 64. And that's our final answer.